97.3 City FM. Relevant radio. Always.
We all walk through life at a certain time, especially as a young person. You go through certain things in life and sometimes you don't understand. But for those of us who've been there and past it, we think it's time that we give back. We don't give back just the successes, but we give back the pitfalls, the failures, and how you get out of them. And specifically areas that, I have studied, that I've experienced. I thought this is the right time to share with the young ones who are coming up, who are facing these and want to make a change and a transformation. So the whole focus is to talk to the youth about pitfalls in your relationships. How do you get out of them? Failures in your career and your networks. How do you get out of them? And then blunders in your image. How do you help yourself to get out of it?
So I just have to ask you this. Where were you when I was under 30? Because,
I know that's why you've been wearing blue socks.
Oh, but I'm no longer wearing blue socks. Today I'm, in fact, you have to say this.
Yeah, Bernard, today I'm so proud that the last time I was in the studio, Inshira had on blue socks.
But
today, he's a transformed man. He's been catalyzed for change.
Thank you.
Charlie, and I'm over 30, so I think it works for over 30s as well. But imagine this, at the time, say, when I completed school, and then I went into a job. I'm quite blessed and fortunate to actually do something I enjoy. But there are a lot of people who possibly are doing stuff there in careers they just don't like.
Exactly.
At what point do they say, I need to make a change, and how do they go about that?
Well, basically, when you want to make a change in the career, there are a number of choices you need to make. I mean, I can't go into all of them, but I'll give you a couple of them that you need to really know. First of all, a lot of people forget that when you're going into a new culture or a new work environment or whatever choice you decide to make in your career, the first thing you need to do is, I call it, choose your challenge. What challenge do you want to experience? Because there's a reason why you're leaving this job. You did not choose your challenges. Now you're hating the job you're in. So when you're moving into another job, choose people. You actually have to decide what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. Because if you don't have that in mind, you can't go to a second job. Secondly, I say you've got to have money. Why do I say money? If you think of the people in Shira who do not have jobs and they come to interviews, they are desperate. They'll take anything. But if you're financially sound or you have a job before you apply for another job, you have some level of security. And then you need to dig deep and have courage and clarity about where you're going. If you understand these things, you can shift your career. And no one is saying stay where you are. But you need to understand some fundamentals. And that is to make sure that you have the financial security to be able to wait it out in case you have a problem. And secondly, you are ready to choose your challenge for the next job.